BMG Third and Wrong YouTube channel here. We are going to do a mock draft review here with Mel Kiper Jr.'s newest mock draft. We call it Mock Talk. But we got Gage and Mikey here, and we're going to get into it. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I'm very tired.
I'm excited.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired. I just had my first kid, so
Yeah, I was
know.
gonna say, like, who's actually doing really well today?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, so if you guys haven't seen our videos before, we are getting pretty heavy into this off season, dropping a lot of mock drafts, mock talks is what we call it, and then position rankings, that kind of thing. So if that's your speed, definitely give us a like, a comment, subscribe. Go check out our other videos as well. And
the algorithm.
Yeah, helps the algorithm out.
Yeah.
The
Algorithm
out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Been a little lax this last week. You know, Dylan, as Dylan said, just had a baby. Elden Ring just came out.
Yep, facts.
Yeah, priorities here, you know.
I do not know what Elden Ring is. So
That's because you're responsible and have a child, and I
yeah.
am a child.
But this is not an Elden Ring review; it's a mock draft review.
That'll be coming out later.
So yes,
All right, let's get into it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, for real though, check out our other videos. We put our own opinions on these players. This is not our mock draft. This is Mel Kiper's. He actually does trades on these ones, and Mel Kiper is just kind of more of a sounding board. He's not predicting the draft, but with all that being said, we'll scroll down and kind of give you our thoughts on what he did with this mock draft. And the way that I think we're going to do this, we're just going to kind of go one at a time here just to kind of get through it rather quickly. Like we said, there's a lot of our videos out there, and if you want to get more in depth to it, we share our thoughts on a lot of these players already. So,
Alrighty.
moving on in. Gage, you want to give us the honorary first pick overall?
Yep. With the first pick, he's going Jacksonville, taking Ika Mikwanu. It may not be as popular right now as Evan Neal, but I don't know. The more I'm watching, I think Ecom is probably the best tackle. Maybe not right off the bat, but his ceiling is a lot higher. I don't think this is gonna happen. I think Evan Neal might actually just end up being the choice. Granted, the combine is this week, so we'll see. And Evan Neal isn't participating, so it'll give a chance again for Ecom to blow up. And the guy's a freak, so the combine's just going to be a great show for him. Yeah, got to protect Trevor Lawrence. Do everything you can. There's not much about this pick. The first five are always going to be kind of the same, so we can just move on.
Yeah. All right. I'll take on the second one here with the Detroit Lions taking Aiden Hutchinson. I think this is just another common one here. You know, he lived in Michigan, went to school in Michigan, kind of boomed this year to give Detroit, you know, him as the second overall pick here. I think this is probably just like the betting odds favorite here. I love this pick. You get arguably a top guy, if not, you know, he's always in the top three at least. And you can do a lot with him. He's versatile, and having someone like him in your defense makes everything easier. So, great piece for a huge rebuild that Detroit has to get through. A lot of positives coming from that area, and this is just a huge bonus for them. But Mikey, once we get past these little ads, you got the Houston Texans
taking Evan Neal from Alabama here. I mean, can't really go wrong with about any pick here in the top three because they need a bunch of help. So I think getting help on the offensive line, I mean, you always need it, always helpful. And Evan Neal, arguably people's number one tackle in the class. So I think the Texans get themselves a good player here. And if they keep Laramie Tunsil around, pair him up with Evan Neal, or if not, then you can offload Laramie Tunsil for maybe some other draft picks or whatnot, but Evan Neal on the offensive line will be solid there for the Texans. I like the pick.
Isn't Tunsil on contract year? Is this his contract year, or was that last year and then they actually signed him?
I'm not sure.
I'm not up to date with Tunsil's contract, but I think he's still on contract for at least a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if anyone wants to check that out, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah, I got it. We can keep going.
Okay. I think you are number 4 though, Gage. So
yep. They're going to be taking, I think, Kyle Hamilton. Yep. New York Jets taking Kyle Hamilton. I struggle. I love this pick, and then I also struggle because it's 4th overall for a safety. But then I personally think Kyle Hamilton's the best player in the draft. I think when it's all said and done, he will be the best player.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, he's the best player, and the Jets need good players. So I take it you've got 2 top 10 picks, and you're getting the best player, I think, in the draft at 4, and you'll probably pick up another player you need later. So I love it. I think it's a good move for the Jets. It's a big upgrade over May. So.
Oh yeah. All right. Number 5, we got the New York Giants taking Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah, he did re-sign a deal. He's got another 3 years. Okay. Tunsil.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So with KT, it's hard to know if this is what they call prospect. It was exhaustion or something like that. But just because someone is the top athlete or whatever, a lot of people find as many negatives as they can by it because that's the ruler by which you grade the draft almost. And so a lot of people are peering into every aspect of his life. It seems like there's a lot of people doing that, but it also seems like there's a lot of people with quality takes of how he's he is an athlete and everything like that, but he's depending on that much more than a lot of edge rushers that get drafted in the top 5. I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert scout or anything like that, but I think if you're the Giants here at number 5, your biggest option is either taking a blue chip or offensive line, and Kayvon Thibodeau, at least as an athlete, is a blue chip, and he can bend, he can get to the pass rusher. That's incredibly valuable in the NFL. But there's going to be things like that are going to take his draft stock down depending on who you ask. But for the Giants, it's either this or Charles Cross at this point. I think taking KT is a very solid pick if they do take him here. But
too late. 6 here to the Panthers. He's got Charles Cross out of Mississippi State. Once again, offensive lineman, arguably one of the top in the class too. Just depends on who you ask, but I think the Panthers, you always need the offensive line. Like I said, with the 3rd overall pick, they're always nice to have. And Charles Cross, he's a beast. I don't see anything wrong with this pick. I like it a lot.
It's actually a great fit for them too.
Yeah.
Charles Cross struggles with pass protection, and I say struggle like that's like his weaker of the two, but the guy's just a mammoth when it comes to run blocking.
Yeah.
And if they can keep Christian McCaffrey healthy, having a guy that can lead the way would be pretty nice for him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think Charles Cross kind of reminds me of Rashawn Slater, a little bit of last year's draft where he's not the top guy, but he could end up being the top guy after the season. All right, number 7.
And that's just all linemen too. I mean, linemen, you just need guys that really need athletes, and then you can polish them as well. Because linemen usually they get 3 years in the NFL before they're expected to produce at a high level. Right around your 3rd year is when you'll see what the player will be for his NFL career. But like you said, moving on, got the Giants taking Devin Lloyd, 7th overall. I don't see how you can justify taking a linebacker this early. But apart from that, I do like the fit for Devin Lloyd going to the Giants. The Giants need a linebacker. They don't really have any top linebackers, and Devin Lloyd is what you would want as a linebacker in the NFL. He can cover, he's fast, he can blitz. The guy puts his nose to the ball. He doesn't really miss tackles. I mean, he's a missile. I don't. You take away the 7 in front of the New York Giants, I love the pick.
Yeah, and then that's what these kind of come down to in essence.
And I think this draft right now, that the top quality isn't like as top tier as what you normally would anticipate, but it's definitely a higher like quality overall with the amount of players in it. It's a good draft. This is a trading back draft. Every team's going to be trying to trade back.
I agree with that 100%. That's what I would be doing if I'm at like most of these teams.
Yeah, trying to get another pick so you can get 2 of these guys in the first.
Oh yeah, 100%. Number 8, we're gonna roll on down to the Atlanta Falcons, taking Sauce Gardner. This is another thing where it's
Best
like
corner in the draft.
he's the best corner of the draft. It is a real weapon to have 2 very solid cornerbacks. This would puts a lot of strength in one position, which is not bad because when you look at it, this NFL is going into 3 to 4 wide receivers deep sometimes, and you have 2 number 1 wide receivers at times on the field, and you have 2 players that they play a different game in a sense, but they have extreme talent when you look at it. So the only thing I would say for the Falcons is you could make a potentially bigger impact in other positions, but when you're looking at just talent level, Ahmad Gardner is a blue chip as well. He hasn't given up a touchdown. Obviously, is kind of his moniker at this point. Yeah,
it's crazy.
So I think this is a good one. I think optimally you'll have a player of his caliber at a different position if you're the Falcons, but you got to go with your winners, and Gardner's a winner.
What I don't get is these teams, they build to beat their division, right? Like, you think teams are preparing to win a Super Bowl? That's not how it works. You build to beat your division, and once you have your division and you have a team that you feel like you can beat your division, then you see, okay, who can I beat now in the AFC or the NFC to move myself onto the Super Bowl? So you kind of built based on like what's around you. And the Falcons in the NFC South now are going to have Sam Darnold at quarterback. Who knows? Maybe Jimbo, Watson or Winston in New Orleans. And whoever the heck is going to be at Tampa Bay because Tom Brady just retired.
Kyle Trask.
Do you really need another lockdown corner when you can get another position in need? I don't know. That's my quarrel with it, because you already have a decent secondary with a great lockdown corner.
Yeah. I would say, if I'm going to give criticism to a pick, I have to throw up who I would have picked so you can look back and be like, oh, Dylan doesn't know what he's talking about, because he would have picked freaking
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis here or something. Yeah, exactly.
If they didn't take Justin Fields, I doubt they're taking Malik Willis this year.
Yeah. But I would say, if I'm the Falcons, the only other person I would potentially go for here is someone in the likes of a George Karlaftis or a Garrett Wilson, someone like that, where it has a little bit more of a use right now, especially Garrett Wilson. But that's just how I would look at it.
It's a curiosity thing for me. I think he's the best corner in the draft. I don't hate this pick at all. I think it's great. He's locked down.
Moving on here to our boy Mikey.
Number 9.
Oh wait, we're gonna throw this over to Gage. Yeah. Actually,
go ahead.
The Browns trade up
1 pick
to get 3 picks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
With Denver to get Drake London. Wow. So this is why Mel Kiper is made fun of repeatedly, and only gets a job because ESPN likes clicks, and this guy gets clicks for him. This is just asinine. If you claim to be like an expert, right? All you have to do is just look at what Cleveland does during their drafts. They never trade up. They always trade back, if anything, and they don't ever reach. So they won't trade up to pick a player, especially in a position group like the wide receivers, where Drake London, Treylon Burks, Garrett Wilson, are all top 3 wide receivers. I'm sorry, but there's no way. Give up the 3rd round pick? Absolutely not. No way. No, we need depth. No, this is bad. Personally, I'm not even a big fan of Drake London. I'll be honest. I think he's all right. I think he's overhyped because he's really good, really tall, and he does a lot of really good things in the college level, but he lacks separation. And the Cleveland wide receiver group lacks separation. Baker Mayfield has to throw it in tight windows every single time. It looks like he's forcing it every time because none of our receivers can get separation. So why are we going to get a guy that can't do it at the college level?
I don't know.
Drake London's a good receiver for the right system. That system is not what the Cleveland's going to be doing. Yeah. Look at what Stephon Diggs and what Adam Thielen did. Those were good receivers in a good system. That's kind of what a Garrett Wilson will do, or a Treylon Burks. That fits it more. A Mike Evans type wide receiver like Drake London is not going to fit in what Cleveland does. But, hey, what do I know? I only pay attention to scheming more than just what will get a click. But, hey, it's just dumb. Trading up. It's just a trading back draft, not trading up.
Oh, yeah. Hey, well, props on the Broncos for trading back.
Yeah, and that's the goal, really, because no one's going to really want to trade up per se. Everyone's wanting to trade back. So then, if you're able to trade back, you're winning. I think you're succeeding. So if the Broncos are able to get an extra 3rd round pick and still get the guy that they're most likely going to want to pick up anyways. That's going to be fine.
All right, Mikey, you're on board.
Mikey can do it. Yeah, we'll just go now.
Number 10, the New York Jets taking Tyler Linderbaum out of Iowa.
What do you think with that compared with getting Kyle Hamilton as well? Because it's kind of like a dual pick. Combination.
I don't know how I feel about this one. I don't think they need a center though.
Their center's getting old.
Who is it even?
I'm looking this up.
I don't know.
This
one threw me off. I don't know.
No, I would say Linderbaum.
Connor McGovern. Dang it! I knew that.
Connor McGovern isn't just a true safety or center though.
He's more of a guard.
He can be a guard, and you'd be great at it too. I feel like even. But yeah, this is for the future. But yeah, sorry, Mike. This is yours. I'm not trying to take over.
No, you're good. I guess I just keep getting all the offensive linemen, but they're not. It's not bad to draft him, and obviously he's hyped up for a good reason. He's a good center. He's a beast. He was a beast at Iowa. Iowa has been producing offensive linemen like it's their freaking job. So I mean. He's there. Might as well get him. Beef up that offensive line even more. I don't know. I'm lost right now. I've never seen him this high.
One thing I said, I think I commented this to someone in one of our other mock draft reviews about Tyler Linderbaum to the Jets. And I said, if you go back to the draft with Quentin Nelson, everyone would love to draft Quentin Nelson almost all the picks essentially. There's not a team at number 6 overall that wouldn't take Quentin Nelson going back at it. And Tyler Linderbaum is almost as sure a prospect as Quentin Nelson is. And even though you don't take centers in the top 10, in most cases, Tyler Linderbaum is as sure of a prospect as you can get in this realm of the draft. And it makes everyone else on your team better. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't hate it, but
it may not be the sexy wide receiver that Jets fans most likely want, but the wide receiver group is very deep.
Oh, yeah.
And the Jets will have multiple picks in the 2nd and 3rd round. that you can get a good wide receiver to help. Not to mention Tyler Lindenbaum. You come in and then you got Zach Wilson. You got a center and quarterback that can work through everything and just grow together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't. I'm not saying.
Prospect,
yeah.
It'll look bad until all of a sudden the dude's bodying all year long, and then it doesn't really matter.
I mean, it's not a bad pick. I wasn't trying to say it was a bad pick or anything. I just never really seen him that high, so it was a little bit of a shock there. But yeah, it makes sense though. I mean, yeah, it makes sense now that you guys explained that out. I mean, it's not bad. It is what it is.
There we go.
I don't know.
No, I don't blame you.
I don't know.
We're trying to make it sound good, Mikey. We're trying to twist this, all right?
You're just trying to sell a polished turd.
We're just trying to get the Jets fans to not jump down our comments. They can go take this up with Mel Kiper.
Exactly.
Jets fans are crazy.
All right. Number 11, the Commanders are going to be taking Kenny Pickett as the first overall pick here. Let's see here what Mel Kiper is saying so I can kind of make a judgment here. This is still a little high for a quarterback based on his board, but Pickett is ready to play in the NFL right now. I don't necessarily agree with that.
No.
I mean, you go back and there's one game where Kenny Pickett is just throwing these just ducks and these balls that are getting contested, and Jordan Addison is just pulling them out of the air, and Kenny Pickett is like doing the Tiger Woods fist pump like he made a great play, and it's Jordan Addison being a freaking animal out there. I think he got bailed out quite a bit, honestly, for what he is as a quarterback. He can put a lot of good tape on the field, but there are so many plays where, and I'm a Colts fan, where I was like, "What in the wentz are you doing here?" Because it's just like you're throwing in triple coverage and you're getting bailed out by your wide receivers. That's what Carson Wentz got away with last year. I can bring up the hand size like almost everyone does, but like even without that, like Kenny Pickett is not he's not the first quarterback off the board.
I mean, you're complaining about Taylor Heineke, right? He is Taylor Heineke.
Yeah. Like, might be a little bit bigger than Tyler Heineke, but
no. He's short. He's 6 foot, 6'1". Like he's Taylor Heineke. Like the way that they play is rather similar. So I don't understand how like the way that he's, promoting this is like it can be an upgrade. Like you're picking 11 overall. You're taking
Desmond Ridder or Sam Howell at that point if you're not taking Malik Willis. My opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this will change too. I think Washington's going after a quarterback in the offseason, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
So
moving on to Gage here, I believe. Oh my gosh.
Minnesota and taking corners.
That's just what it's gonna be.
It's what they need.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like it's what they need, but it's what they've been doing for years, and they still need it. They absolutely need a corner. They're losing every single one of their starting corners. Derek Sinley's probably the best one available still. Kwesi Adolfo, he came over from Cleveland, so he'll draft similar styles. So the way the Browns draft, they do not draft players over the age of 22. They want people that are young, because if you get a player that's 22 or 23 years old and they play out their rookie contract, they're already 29. You pay them any more, that's kind of like the expected drop-off years for players. So Derek Sinley's pretty young. His freshman year was probably some of the best cornerback tape that's been put out in a long time, and it's kind of been downhill from there.
Yeah, and the whole of the LSU has been on a downhill since that freshman season he had.
As a prospect, he looks really good, and I think that's what matters. Like his play in college doesn't matter as much as the athletic ability that he has and has shown that he can do, because they'll be able to coach better. So I like the pick. I mean, it's an obvious need. The Vikings have to do it, so.
Yeah. All right, since this is not the Cleveland pick, Mikey.
At 13 here, where the Browns would have been, is now the Broncos, and they go Jermaine Johnson the second out of Florida State here, D end. Yeah, as it says right there, he is one of the biggest risers because of his dominant Senior Bowl, and he absolutely murdered that Senior Bowl. Goddamn, excuse me. Yeah, dude's a tank. Definitely on the uprise here for sure.
I think you'll start seeing a lot of DNs rise after this combine.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them just, you don't get to really express how good of a defensive end you are in college football because of the way college football is played. You know, you don't get to rush the quarterback as much. It's all really quick. This guy's a freak athlete. And he showed that he's very, very polished as well as explosive. Not to mention, I'm really glad that we traded up to get Drake London just in case, all the receivers were taken.
Yeah, for real. All right. Moving on. Number 14. Ooh, spicy. The
Saints.
Ravens trade down. The Saints trade up. Some compensatory picks moving around. New Orleans Saints grabbed Garrett Wilson.
They wanted their Ohio State boy that bad.
That bad. I mean, I do think people are going to be trading up for wide receivers, so I don't think this is necessarily the furthest off of the reservation that you could get.
What did they give up for it again, Dylan? Did it say?
They said like a third-round pick to move up 4 spots.
Wait, how do the Ravens have the 14th
round pick?
How do they have the 14th overall pick?
The Ravens finished last in the division, bro.
Yeah, but in every other mock draft, they were at the 19th spot, right in front of the Steelers.
No, that's the Chargers.
No, the Ravens. The Ravens are always picking after the Browns.
You sure?
You're thinking of the Steelers.
No, the Steelers are at 20. No, whatever. It doesn't matter.
It's the Eagles or something. Anyways, yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, no,
you're wrong. You're wrong.
I really like Garrett Wilson, honestly. You got a guy
better than Drake London.
He's better than Drake London. He is just all separation. Him and Chris Olave are, coming out of that Ohio State where they just get separation as much as possible. Really like this one. I think the only thing is his body size, like his weight, is kind of like the only thing that people even have a question about, and it's not even really that bad. But
Devontae Smith kind of busted that for people this last year.
But yeah, no, Garrett Wilson's kind of taking on the 1A in the wide receiver conversation for most people. And I think he will be a great target for anyone there for the Saints, whether that's Jameis or Ian Book. But
I really think it's going to be Jameis. I don't think Jameis can go anywhere else,Ll be honest.
I don't think so. And I think he'll do good there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, obviously trading up, this isn't the draft to do it, but at least this is someone that you could do it for rather than a Drake London. So,
are you falling off of Drake London as well, Dylan?
No, what you were saying though is with what the offense you guys have, it's not the trade that you want to go up with.
Gotcha.
I think the Jets taking Drake London at 10 is okay, but that's not giving up extra draft capital for him and stuff like that. But Garrett Wilson is at least considered a best wide receiver, whereas I feel like Drake London is viewed as, he has a lane, but he's really elite in that one lane.
I'm extremely salty he's not doing the combine this week. I'm pretty sad. Alrighty, let's keep it moving.
Was this your pick next?
I think so. Maybe.
So.
Oh, Miami Dolphins. I'm just kidding. The Philadelphia Eagles. Where did I get Miami? Oh, via Miami Dolphins. Okay, I was like, dude, where did I even get that from? They have 15 and 16, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You want to go up both at a time?
Yeah, you got Trent McDuffie, and then we got David Ajabo. I think that's a really good pick. I think David Ajabo is going to go higher than this.
That's a good haul.
Yeah, he's one of the ones I was talking about that, like, you'll see DNs rising because this guy. unlike Aiden Hutchinson, is the freak athlete. Aiden Hutchinson just does everything right and is really good and polished at what he does. And Ojabo is extremely raw.
Yeah.
And he shows a lot of potential. So I think it's good. The Eagles double dipping right now on defense, I think is just fine. I think Trent McDuffie is a dog. I think he's got that Philly attitude. So I think that's a great fit.
Philly attitude.
You know, Philly's crazy like that.
Yeah.
And he fits that scheme in the defense with the style they run. Yeah. I like it. I think it's a good pickup. You double down on defense. You get another couple good talents back there. You get a defensive edge rusher with a very old and well-experienced defensive end group in Philly that will help, groom him. And then you also have the same thing with their corners with Darius Slay. You can help out. There's a lot. It's a good stepping stone for him. It's a good place for both of them to be. It's not a bad situation. And I don't feel like they're reaching on either of them. So,
sure, yeah. All right, Mikey.
All right, 17 here. Los Angeles Chargers taking Trayvon Walker.
I think this is the first time it hasn't been Jordan Davis, right?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Well.
Trayvon Walker. I don't know how much you guys have seen him, but he is also pretty bendy. He did put in a lot of work for Georgia, and I think his measurables and everything like that is going to get people kind of talking about him with the combine this week, actually. So I think Trayvon Walker steps up a whole lot. I think he's going to be more important to that defense than taking a Jordan Davis, who could potentially only be a two-down player. I'm not shoehorning him there, but I think this is a good pick, honestly. But there's a lot the Chargers can do here.
Yeah. I mean, either one can't go wrong, I guess.
Yeah.
Take this one, Mikey. You like Baltimore so much.
I hate Baltimore. Trevor Penning, perfect. Another offensive lineman. God, I love it.
I knew that was coming. I had to say that. I had to have Mikey take it just for that reason.
It's all good. Trevor Penning, that dude, like Gage said about Trent McDuffie, Trevor Penning is a dog. Dude gets down. Dude is dirty. He's a mean man. He don't give a F who you are. It doesn't matter. He's a beast, and I hate this pick for the Ravens.
Yeah.
Just because it makes him that much better, dude. That's a sick pick. I love Trevor Penning. Dude's so good.
The guy is just a dick.
Dude, he's so awesome. Oh, I love Trevor Penning.
Great. I'm just thinking, like, I mean, it really won't matter because he'll be freaking schooled by Myles Garrett, week in, week. So it don't really matter. But it helps Baltimore a lot.
Just so you know, that there is a reason why we dog on Mel Kiper so much. He just said here, if Baltimore goes defense, instead keep an eye on Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker went the pick before the Baltimore Ravens here. So it's a little ridiculous sometimes.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah. Also, like, little quick fact, the best, like, mock drafts that people do, the ones that are the best, they usually get, like, the highest is 12 picks right.
Yeah.
Which is not high. And I think Mel Kiper on average is like 5.9 or something is what I saw. So,
yeah.
So, food for thought.
All right, am I taking this next one, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you guys are not going to like this one.
No! We were 2 picks away.
Hey,
Eagles have won the draft.
We know that this is not a realistic mock draft because the Eagles make quality decisions and pick a quality wide receiver.
Here comes Skye Moore.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, could you imagine if it was a Skye Moore or something like that?
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love it.
Traylon Burks will be the best receiver in this draft. This man is a dog.
Yeah.
He's great. We have 20 videos on our YouTube channel talking all about Trayvon Burks.
I might just make a Trayvon Burks video just me talking about him, how much I love him.
Yeah, but he's great. He's got size, he's speed, he's got hands, he's got routes. You got it all with Traylon Burks, and especially with the type of game that they're going to be playing with Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni running the show there. I think this is just an absolute home run of a pick. Um, yeah,
It complements so well with Devontae Smith as well.
yeah,
Like it's a beautiful pick, honestly.
yeah.
If this happens
But
for the Eagles, they actually might be really good.
I hate this draft.
Jalen Hurts didn't suck.
yeah. All right, moving on.
Sorry,
Gage,
Joe.
your favorite team.
Pittsburgh Steelers, part of my language, mom and dad. They're taking Malik Willis out of Liberty. I like the pick because I think Malik Willis is a bust. I don't think he's got a chance, really. He doesn't show anything potential-wise with throwing the ball. He's super athletic and quick. He's very inaccurate, but he's not a big dude. He's tiny. He's like 6'2", 220.
He might
That's
even
not
be
a big-
6'1".
Yeah, he's a quarterback. Like you would think that like, oh, he's super fat. Like if he's like 6'2", 6'3", all right. But she's short, and then he also doesn't have a great offensive line,
Yeah.
and he's not extremely accurate. All that being said, that's just my like opinion on the prospect. If he goes to, I think this is probably the best place for him to go to. If he's going to succeed, I think it would be in Pittsburgh. I think Mike Tomlin is an incredible head coach, and you give him something that he hasn't been able to have ever. With Ben being the quarterback, you have some mobility now and a young guy that you can mold into what you want instead of already coming into a team. I think this would be the best spot for Willis. And
Yeah.
being a Browns fan, knowing my luck, he will just end up being a Hall of Famer for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, whatever.
All right. Mikey, your boy's here.
The New England Patriots here. I'm interested to see.
Ooh. Let's
Actually,
see.
pretty good.
Arnold Ebiquetti.
Yep.
You know much about Arnold Ebiquetti?
I don't know much about any of the defensive ends in this class yet.
So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I could be thinking of someone else, but Ebiquetti, did he transfer? Yeah, from Temple.
Okay.
Yeah, he transferred from Temple, Independence State, and was just right out of a cannon, essentially, with them there. He is very toolsy and the kind of guy that you would expect Bill Belichick to go after in this situation.
He's one of the guys I said that you'll see rise
Yeah.
in this upcoming because he is a freak athlete. He will be
Yeah.
extremely fast for how big he is. You'll just watch.
Yeah, and I know you want a wide receiver here.
Yeah.
Tolbert
in the second.
Patriots have been burned so much with that. So I doubt that they take another first-round wide receiver, especially with a new OC coming in that hasn't been there, unless it's Bill O'Brien. I doubt that they're going wide receiver in some aspects, but I do wish they would because it is a more exciting pick.
As the draft is playing out right now, there's only Garrett Wilson, Traylon Burks, and London gone. So, I mean, the Patriots really could get the DNs are flying off the board. You got to get a good one now.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, I think it's really good. But I know getting that wide receiver is very tempting here. Jameson Williams is on the board still.
Oh, yeah, that's my guy, dude. Right behind Traylon Burks.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't mind the pick. We need it, and they're flying off the board, and Arnold Ebiquetti is not a bad player at all, so... Well, look, if we don't pick one up in free agency, then we're definitely looking in the second round, possibly for one. So,
and if you guys get production out of Jamie Collins and Chase Vinovich, you're going to get a lot of production out of this dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Raiders going to Kobe Dean. Was this my pick? Yeah, it was my pick. Mm-hmm. Kobe Dean. I mean, I don't think the Raiders' biggest deal is their linebackers? If I remember right, they actually have a pretty good linebacker there. I'm spacing on his name. I do really love N'Kobe Dean because he's such an animal on the field. He's got great leadership. That's something that could really help the Raiders just in and of itself. But I don't know if linebacker is where they have their biggest struggles. I think
They have Corey Littleton, Denzel Perryman, and I think KJ Wright, so they do not have a good linebacker.
But Perryman actually played really well this year, if I remember right.
He played decent.
There was I think he got a Pro Bowl, one of the guys, and that wasn't like a just given to him, like a Mac Jones or someone. But
Dean is not a 21 level talent. He's much better than that, though.
Yes.
So they're getting a guy who's dropped because of positional need of defensive ends going higher much later. I think it's
No, I think
better than Lloyd.
BPA wise, this is a BPA pick, and that's definitely valuable right there in and of itself. And I guess you can go and get a second round wide receiver or cornerback if that suits your needs. But new whole regime there. They can go any which direction, but getting a great leader that you can kind of build your culture around is super important. So actually, I'm starting to like that pick more. So not too upset about that. But we'll see who else is on the board here. Gage.
Got the Arizona Cardinals taking Chris Olave. I'm struggling with this.
I think it's too much investment in the wide receiver department.
See, that's what I would think, but Kyler Murray dropped off a freaking cliff as soon as DeAndre Hopkins was out. Like, Kyler Murray was not good at the last bit of the season. Granted, I said that was going to happen at the very beginning of the year. They're going to be hot, and then they're going to suck at the end of the year. It's what they did the year prior as well. The Cardinals just aren't. They're very hot and cold. But AJ Green is likely not going to be here for much longer, right? Rondell Moore was an awful pick when it happened. The guy's just a gadget player. You get gadget players in the 4th and 5th round, 3rd and 4th, 5th round. You don't spend a 2nd round pick on them. And Chris Olave will actually help that situation a lot more. But I think you have to go offensive line with how bad they were this year.
Yeah.
But I think that's a great fit. Olave coming in there, that dude just creates separation and gets open. The guy just finds ways to be open and catch and score. The guy just scores off of his catches, and you have him not having to be focused on because you got D-Hop on the other side. It would bode really, really well.
Yeah. No, I don't mind it. The only thing I would say is I feel like a cornerback, 1st round, wide receiver 2nd round would be more useful for the Cardinals. But like you said, I think that's great analysis. You get someone that you can put opposite of D-Hop and just make it less of a question if Kyler Murray's your guy.
Okay.
All right, Cowboys. This is going to be you, Mikey.
George Karlaftis out of Purdue here.
He dropped this far. Holy cow.
I didn't think he would either.
I saw one where he was going in the 2nd round.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then I have some people I listen to that believe that he should be a top 10 pick.
Yep.
This is interesting.
Yeah. I think this is a great pick for the Cowboys if he actually truly does fall this far. He's not the athletic freak like some of the other players in the class, but the dude, he's strong. He knows where to put his hands. He has good hand placement. He knows what to do. He's a polished player. He's just not the freak athlete that you're going to get, but at the end of the day, sometimes it doesn't matter as long as the guy works hard and he knows what he's doing and he can do it right almost every play. That's what you're looking for. So I think George Karlaftis is that guy, and it gives Micah Parsons a little bit more freedom on what he can do in their defense. And this is a great pick for the Cowboys. I like this pick a lot.
Yeah. And he knows what he's doing in the sense where he's violently aggressive and everything like that.
Yes,
he's
super
not
aggressive.
He's not just like like this like careful but considerate kind of guy. He's like he knows what he's doing. He's going to take advantage of you, and he already is like 2 or 3 steps ahead of you and everything. So
I feel like
he's honestly an animal.
I feel like he could be like a Max Crosby type player.
Gosh,
yeah. He's got like a relentless motor, right? Yeah. He's not going to be like your Myles Garrett, where it's just a complete freak athlete. And I love Myles Garrett, right? He's my boy, but he doesn't give a full 100% on every single play. Like you physically can't. His motor is nowhere near somebody like a TJ Watt, where Watt literally just does not stop ever.
Yeah.
Ever on pass rushing.
Yeah, Karlaftis kind of reminds me more of a Robert Mathis, where Mathis is just always he's unreal with what he's got mentally going on, I guess. But
yeah, he's just got a weird body type, right? That you just don't normally see, but it's effective for him.
Yeah,
and that's just it. I really think that like if he was built like a Roman Greek god, like majority of these DNs are, he would be a lot higher. But because he's a little, tubbier, thicker looking, kind of funky looking,
yeah, it's different.
But the guy's got an insane motor, and like Michael said, with Parsons, I mean that's a great fit. You got two guys that are relentless, and then one of them's a freak athlete, and the other one's just insanely strong. That's a good combination.
And now getting to
Everson Griffin. That's who I was thinking of. He reminds me of Everson Griffin.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. No, we're good. We're just getting into kind of the quicker end of the tail end here. So I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. This is a little bit more of a different pick. Devontae Wyatt going to the Buffalo Bills. I think a lot of people just jam a cornerback in here because why not, or an offensive lineman because why not. I mean, I would say taking someone like Kenyon Green here would be awesome, but Devontae Wyatt as well. You stop the run up the middle fairly well. He can get into the backfield, passing downs. He's going to play more than Jordan Davis, in my opinion.
He's more usable. Jordan Davis, if he does his job, plays 1 or 2 plays a drive.
But he's going to be like an animal on those plays, so you're going to take him regardless. But with Devontae Wyatt, he's kind of a little bit slimmer in a sense. He's just able to move a little bit better than Jordan Davis, and I think that's kind of what they're looking for with the Bills, who can stand to add more onto their defensive line as they're getting old. They can still add more in other places, but this is a great player to kind of fill a need. But also
Oliver and Wyatt together would be good.
Oh yeah, they would be animals together. That'd be scary.
Mikey loves this pick.
Yeah, it's more
move on?
Patriots playbook anyways.
Can we move on?
All right, let's move on.
Oh, and just a reminder, they don't actually need a corner as well because Tre'Davious White was hurt all last year, so they're getting a lockdown corner coming back as well. That just makes the Bills even that much better.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mikey.
I think this one is for Gage, right?
Sure, yeah. Tennessee Titans taking Johan Dotson.
Okay, this is just wrong. I'm not taking Calvin Austin in the first round. Sorry. But anyways,
I like Johan Dotson. He reminds me of Antonio Brown coming out. He just gets a little bit more play. I don't think he goes round 1. I will say that.
Do you think he goes above Jameson Williams?
No, I don't. I don't think at all. I think that's actually a really poor pick if Jameson Williams is still on the board, which he is, correct?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, absolutely awful. Especially since Jameson Williams complements A.J. Brown really well, which is kind of what I was thinking. Like with Johan Dotson, he complements with A.J. Brown really well, but he does not fit at all. Either does Jameson Williams, to be fair. They do not fit what Tennessee is by any means. I don't think that's a great pick, I'll be honest.
No, I don't either. But I mean, John Dotson is exciting though if you're looking for just a wide receiver. But yeah,
Your wide
there's
receivers need a block.
but yeah,
And you can't have a player out there that isn't able to block a wide receiver, especially in the power formation, like the power run that they run, the zone power with Derrick Henry. You can't have a player out there that's going to be a liability blocking. Wide receivers blocking is a huge deal. And if he comes off the field, it's a run. And if he comes back on the field, that's most likely not going to be a run. You can't really have that in an offense that Tennessee runs. I don't think it's a great pick. Yeah, that Calvin Austin thing is
5'9", 165 pounds in the first round is just never going to happen. I'm sorry.
that's a fourth, fifth round pick.
Maybe third round. Oh, sorry, that ruffled my feathers a little bit there, but
Yeah, I don't mind Tennessee taking a wide receiver. I just think it needs to be a better scheme fit. You can't just take the prospect because it's a prospect. Looks good, right? Like these prospects matter, but you also have to understand where you're going into. I don't think Jahan Dotson's a
I
great
think
fit.
the Titans will be a target for veterans too. I think they're going to start coming into Tennessee a little bit more, maybe an Allen Robinson type. So
That's
I
what they
just
need, another wide receiver that
yeah.
can't produce like Julio. Allen Robinson or
Uh,
Julio.
on to our boy Mikey. I think this one's you
No,
boy.
you're taking this one.
I'm okay. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Zion Johnson. Honestly, confounding pick here because, I mean, unless you're putting him at center, the Buccaneers have great offensive guards. Um, that's not their weakness at all. That's not even a need.
Isn't
It'd be
Ryan
like,
Jensen their center?
Yes, it is.
yeah. So this would be like the Colts taking a left guard. Like, yeah, it's BPA in some aspects, but I don't think it is going to happen. And you can come back on draft day and make fun of me. If it does, I will give you all the props in the world. But this is just, I don't know. I don't think this is going to happen at all.
You can never have too many good offensive linemen.
I guess Ali Marpet retired, apparently. I did not know that.
Oh,
maybe
yes,
I'm
he did.
sticking out my butt.
I
But
remember
still, I don't know. They got Ryan Jensen. They got someone else there. I just don't think you're taking that right now.
I don't know.
Especially with Kenyon Green. Like, I would take Kenyon Green over Zion Johnson.
Johnson played much better.
I think Kenyon Green physically might be more preferable. But either way, I guess that's up to the eye of the beholder kind of deal. But I don't like this one necessarily. But, I mean, in the theory of football, when you're adding either side of the line in the first round, it does pay off more. So it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not taking Calvin Austin in the first round. So I guess I can't be too mad at him. All right, there you go, Mikey.
Ooh.
That one's all for you.
That one sucks, though, because to see him go. But Green Bay Packers here, finally, Jameson Williams off the board. Wide receiver out of Alabama. Yeah, if Aaron Rodgers stays, yes, it's about time they draft a weapon for him. So Jameson Williams here. It's a great pick for the Packers. Complements Devontae Adams very well, and just gives Aaron Rodgers another stud receiver to throw to. And hopefully he can come back off that ACL tear. I'm assuming he will. It's not like it used to be. So,
you know how like Scantling gets like open sometimes?
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers hits him in a bucket and the dude drops it anyways. Now imagine that happening a lot more times because Jameson Williams is actually a much better wide receiver. And he's faster, but he doesn't actually drop it.
Yeah, he can actually
And you have to deal with that and Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Along with Quadzilla and Aaron Jones. Yeah, this is a great pick. And also, everyone think that Aaron Rodgers is going to go anywhere. Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Packer. Okay, all this crap is just noise. It's just stuff that people are trying to do. There's zero incentive for Aaron Rodgers to want to go anywhere.
I think he wants to go to. I think he wants to go to a dome in the AFC, into the AFC South, with the Colts. So that will happen as well.
No, you guys get to keep Wentz. You were actually
honestly,
not able to cut him. No chance.
yeah, yeah. We'll save that for another video.
Well,
All right, Miami Dolphinians. I think that's you, Gage.
Bernard Raymond. Um,
Sounds kinky.
I'm not a. They need the lineman, right? They really do. So I mean, in that aspect, it's the right pick. I just don't think he. Wait, no. Am I getting this name wrong? I need to see his face quick.
He's Central Michigan.
Yeah, I know he's Central Michigan. I'm trying to. I watched all of the Senior Bowl stuff, and there was one guy that was just massive that played like complete and utter trash.
Yeah, Falale.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. There we go. Bernard Raymond's fine. He's a good pick. I was thinking Falale for some reason. That guy is just an accident waiting to happen. Okay. Yes. Raymond is actually pretty good. I don't think he's I don't think he ends up being a tackle. I think he ends up being a guard. In all honesty. But either way is fine because the Dolphins had the worst running game in the NFL, and anything that can help push the line forward a little bit is what they need. So I think it's a decent pick. My bad on getting those guys mixed up for a sec.
You're fine. All right, Kansas City Chiefs, Boye Mafe. Okay, so this is a name I don't think we've highlighted enough, and I think we're gonna start putting this guy higher up on our boards as well. He is he's rather impressive, honestly. I listened to Trevor Mike Renner. I think it's Mike Renner. Both Kiper and Mike Renner love Boye Mafe. I've been watching what a few scouts have been, talking about him. Again, I'm not an expert scout. Apologies on that area. I'm getting there, but he is another toolsy guy that is just going to force himself up boards because of his speed and his athletic ability. The Chiefs definitely have the ability to get someone that can grow and take in from the likes of is it Ryan Clark or
Ryan Clark's the DN.
Frank Clark.
Frank Clark is who you're thinking of, though. Ryan Clark's the DB from.
Yeah, no,
The Steelers.
And then there's the guy on the Packers. That's another guy. That's a Clark, I think. That I'm thinking of. Anyways, Boye Mafe is dope. Look into him. I'm starting to get more into this guy because a few people are pointing him out as a huge riser in the offseason process. He's going to be awesome, especially after the Senior Bowl, like he says here. So I like that pick. Chiefs have the time to take someone that's going to take a second to really hit the ground running. But
I'm just happy it's not Jamison Williams.
Yes, I agree. I'm on that train too.
Yeah,
and Mikey, go ahead and take this next one.
Yeah, I saw it.
31.
Boy.
No, you're good. Yeah, Kyler Gordon, that's my dog right there, bruh. No, I think it's just funny because of the whole Eli Apple thing. I think it's pretty hilarious. But I like Kyler Gordon. I think the Bengals need one. And I think for any other position that they need right now, I think if you take that position of need here, I think it's a reach. So I think they're kind of just going to their next option for a position of need and finding someone that's worth the 31st pick in the first round, and I think Kyler Gordon is that guy. Him and Trent McDuffie, they were a no-fly zone at Washington there. People knew not to throw to them. Those two are dogs. Kyler Gordon, dog. I like the pick for the Bengals, though. They need it, and I think I think it's worth the pick here and not reaching for any other position.
And then for Bengals fans that might be like, well, we need linemen. You guys do need linemen, but I don't think that they're going to rely on drafting rookies to protect Joe Burrow. I think it's very likely that they will be trying to figure that out in beforehand.
Yeah.
Is that what it says in there?
No. Yeah. It says, no offensive linemen here, and exactly what you said almost. Great minds think alike sometimes.
Uh, no,
Hey, he's
I
making a
just
lot
think
of money.
you can't keep risking Joe Burrow, and let's be real, drafts are risks. You're going off potential. You get somebody that's already been a lineman in the NFL that you know what he's going to provide for you. I think that's probably the safer option.
And
I
since
am a
he's
little
done
sad
good
though
with,
that we won't get to see Eli Apple as much.
and since he has done a good job with veterans, bringing them in, they have a good eye for that type of talent. So that's probably a better situation for him,
Curious
anyways.
if they're going to actually spend money on free agents, be willing to spend more, because they usually
Yeah,
always spend like under what the cap is.
yeah,
If now that they have a good team, if their owners can be willing to do that.
yeah,
Anyways, that's just a curiosity thing. We can keep going.
yeah.
We got the
Last
last
pick
pick.
here. Ooh,
Detroit Lions taking
spicy.
Matt Corral.
I guess I have the biggest, I would say, crush on Matt Corral, but I like Matt Corral a lot, and this is kind of on the same page as the draft with Teddy Bridgewater, where he went 32nd overall. You get the fifth year option if he works out for you. If Malik Willis is here, that's another great option. But Matt Corral, he's got a quick arm, quick release, definitely different than Jared Goff. But like it says here, he's not going to be thrown in the fire right away, and he's going to get a lot of work with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think those two are really going to hit it off. And when you have a more run-focused game that they play, I think Matt Corral's going to be looking really good in that offense. So I like this pick
I think it's
personally.
highly unlikely that they draft a quarterback in the first round.
Yeah.
Let's be real. You get a quarterback, where are the Lions going to finish? They're most likely going to finish last in their division again. I mean, like, I love, Lake Erie Bros. I have nothing against the Lions. Just as a Browns fan, I know what tanking looks like. I know when a bad team is a bad team. And this team has a lot of heart, but they are just talent deficient everywhere. A lot of the players shouldn't even be playing in the NFL, right? Like they just don't have a great team yet. So reaching for a quarterback instead of grabbing another quality player at 32, especially since you're most likely going to end up in, let's say, the top 3 to top 5 pick overall next year with a really good quarterback class coming in. Just stock up now, get as many good players as you can, see what you got, and then go for your quarterback next year because you're not going to turn it around this year. You've already given DC his leeway. Like you're not going to fire him after this year. Dan Campbell's got his time. Pick another player up, get your quarterback next year, especially since Matt Corral, like he's a worse prospect than what Jared Goff was coming out of college.
Yeah, this won't happen.
Yeah,
This won't happen.
Why are you picking that first round?
I do think you make good points there. In the case that they do pick this, though, I do think that if you end up getting Matt Corral, he's not going to get play until later on in the year, unless there's an injury on Jared Goff. I think Matt Corral does have a lot of potential that it's still unrealized right now. But say you even do end up in a position where you're taking someone like a Bryce Young or something like that next year.
Right.
I mean, you still don't know what you're going with. So if
You're just wasting a pick though. Like
but
tell me like
yeah,
they get they take this guy, right? They end up and they get the first overall pick next year. Tell me you're not taking Bryce Young anyways.
yeah. I mean, the
Then you're just
Cardinals
wasting your
did
pick.
kind of the same thing. I don't think it's necessarily a waste of a pick though, because I'm saying if they take him here in the real world, not in this mock draft, it would indicate that they have something that they, I guess, prefer Matt Corral over other potential people in a sense.
Which is fair.
Say you get someone that he does work on everything. He does fulfill his or at least looks like he's going to fulfill his potential. Then you get to have that pick, and you get to have someone akin to an Aiden Hutchinson, which you're already taking, but you're adding more talent around this quarterback, which in this league, you honestly can't win without talent around that person. The talent makes the quarterback more than anything. And this isn't the worst way to take a quarterback here because you can't just count on, finishing top one or two where you're going to get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. So you may not even miss your quarterback that you're wanting next year. So if for some reason you are sold on Matt Corral and you take him here, then you're getting higher picks in other positions that are not quarterbacks. So it could be a win-win, but I think your point in the end is the stronger point where it's better not to take a quarterback in this position because you're going to be in the top of next year's draft anyways. You can land a much better quarterback. So I'm trying to throw in the other side of the argument there.
No, I understand.
Yeah, that's all of our picks here. I think overall, Mel Kiper, like we were saying before, he's a soundboard. He's not necessarily trying to predict everything, but he's trying to show what he is hearing around the league. However, I do disagree with a lot of these picks. So I wouldn't like these.
With Mel Kiper, he does have connections, right? So everything he's doing right now is really for clicks, right? Because that's what matters. That's what gets him paid. That's what gets ESPN paid. That's what matters. However, he does provide a lot of really good information the day before and the day of the draft, because that's when teams start actually like letting people know what they're going to do. Because I remember when Baker Mayfield was supposed to go 11th overall to the Dolphins, that's kind of where it was looking. And then randomly it was like, oh, Baker Mayfield could be ended up going number 1. I'm like, no way, that's just smoke. And he kind of does that. So pay attention to what he says a couple days before the draft. Everything else before then is just GMs using mouthpieces to put what they want out.
Yeah,
it's all a shebang. It's all mind games until then.
But that is our mock draft review. Definitely drop a like if you've listened all the way here. Comment. We're gonna get a lot of comments about particularly the Eagles the Giants is what I've seen. So throw those in there. We understand. But we like, and the Texans, we like to respond, try to give some insights to our opinions as well. But if you haven't subscribed already, do that. Helps us out, helps you out because you get some great content.
Facts.
But keep an eye out for some of our combine stuff because we're going to start putting out combine videos too here soon. So any last words?
Sayonara.
Deuces, y'all.
Choose later. A day.
A day. Hey.